In today's video, I'm going to be reviewing Dare to Compare Math Beginning for Grades 2 to 3 by the Critical Thinking Co. So this is a workbook that was sent to me by the Critical Thinking Co. in order for me to review it, as I am part of the Homeschool review crew. And I got this for my daughter, who is 8 years old, and she just finished second grade. So she finished out her second grade year using this book, and she will continue to use it through her third grade year until she is done with it. Now, what we did is we simply used one question per day. There are 150 questions in this book, and so for a school year, that works out pretty nicely to do one question per day. If you wanted to do more and not do it every single day, you could totally do that too. But I thought for her, it was perfect to do just one question per day. Now, this is called Dare to Compare Math because this math has word problems that is a multi-step process. So let's take a look at a couple examples. So the weight of 4 hot dogs is the same as the weight of the steak. What is the weight of 1 hot dog? And it says the steak weighs 20 ounces. So we know the steak weighs 20 ounces, but then we have to figure out, well, how much does 1 hot dog weigh? So what my daughter did is she divided it in half. And so if the whole thing weighs 20 ounces, then half of them would weigh 10. And then she divided that in half again and figured out that that meant 1 hot dog weighed 5 ounces. So that's how she figured that one out. Then this next one, which pattern has more dots at stage 6? So as you can see here, they had to fill in stage 5 and stage 6 for both. So they had to figure out the pattern first and then fill that in, and then figure out which pattern has more dots at stage 6. So as you can see, these are multi-step processes in order to get to the correct answer. And then on this one, it says, who puts their dessert in the oven first? Who puts their dessert in the oven last? Betsy puts a cake in the oven for 40 minutes and takes it out at 4:50. And Ari puts cookies in the oven for 20 minutes and takes them out at 4:35. And Isabel puts muffins in the oven for 25 minutes and takes them out at 4:30. And so my daughter circled the key information such as 40 minutes and 4:50. And so she's using those skills that she's been taught. She has to actually critically think in order to solve these problems, because it's not a simple one-step solution to the problem. Now, something really cool in the back of the book is hints. So there are hints for every problem. So if your child gets stuck, you can actually turn back here. And let's say that last problem I was just talking about. So the hints are, Betsy takes her cake out at 4:50 p.m., which is 50 minutes after 4 o'clock p.m. She put her cake in 40 minutes earlier, which is 50 minus 40 equals 10 minutes after 4 p.m. or 4:10 p.m. So it kind of worked out how to figure that out for one of the children, but not all 3. So it just gives little hints to help them figure out what the process is that they should be using to solve the problem. After the hints, there are solutions, so there are answers. Now, I tend to work through this with my daughter, but if your child was working through this independently, then you can check their work with the solutions after you're done. As you get further into this book, you do see that the problems get more in depth and there's multiple parts to the problems. So there might be A, B, C, and D. So it does get more difficult as you go throughout this book. And so I just wanted to show you a little bit of that. So here's kind of the middle of the book, and then we'll head towards the end so you can see the types of problems at the end of the book. So they're really going to be learning so much through the course of this book, and it's so gentle in the progression of the difficulty that they're really developing their critical thinking skills as they progress through, and so it doesn't seem daunting or challenging because they are really fine-tuning those skills as they go. I absolutely love this book, and I'm so glad we found it, because I think that working through these problems is things that we will use in real life, and it makes math applicable to real life. Plus, it really makes them think. So it's not just numbers that they're dealing with and basic operations. They are dealing with those, but they have to figure out the processes that they're going to use surrounding those numbers and operations. I highly recommend this as a supplement to any math program, and I absolutely love it, and my daughter loves it too. She really gets into trying to figure out these answers, and so I have seen her progress from the very first question until now. She's really progressed. In the beginning, she was wanting to jump to what she immediately thought was the answer without going through the process of figuring out what the correct answer was, but now she's taking her time and stopping and thinking and circling important information and really working her way through the problem to determine the correct answer. Make sure to go check out the links I'm going to leave below. I'm going to leave a link to the Homeschool Review crew, and you can read all the other reviews from the Homeschool Review crew. And of course, I'm going to leave the link to where you can find this Dare to Compare Math with the Critical Thinking Co. So definitely go check out those links below. And if you have any questions, please do let me know, and I will be happy to answer them for you. Thank you so much to the Critical Thinking Co. and the Homeschool Review crew, and I'll see you in the next one.